Shaul Rosenblatt. Welcome to Tikkun's Weekly Dava. This week's portion is Bechukotai. It's the last one in the book of Leviticus, the book of Vayikra, and it's a nice short one this week. It contains, in essence, in main, the what will happen, punishment, a series of punishments, and they're quite horrific punishments for a person that doesn't live up to the values that the Torah espouses. And it seems very harsh. It really seems very harsh if you read it closely. But I want to point out, the way I see it is not like that. This is not, we Jews don't see that God punishes us. God created a world of cause and effect. And there are consequences to our actions. Good begets good and bad begets bad. In the same way as if you eat poison, you're probably going to get sick. Whereas if you eat healthy and you exercise a lot, you're probably going to be healthier and well. There are no guarantees. You know, people can live a healthy life and die of a heart attack, and someone can jump off the Golden Gate Bridge and survive. But on the in general, if we do good and if we act appropriately and we act in the proper way in the physical world, things will work out for us, and vice versa. The same is true in the spiritual world. You make good choices spiritually, the world works for you. And you make bad choices, the world doesn't. That is what the portion this week is talking to us about. And so often, unfortunately, when things don't go well in our life, when things don't go the way that we want them to go, we look to blame. We blame circumstances, we blame the world around us, and ultimately, we blame God. But I don't understand how people can blame God, you know? God gave us instructions, God gave us a world, and there's an instruction manual to the world, and we're warned. And that's what this portion is doing, warning us. You eat poison, there are consequences to eating poison. You eat poison, you're going to get sick. But I just want to address a question that's kind of underlying all this, and that is, why would God make a world like that in the first place? Why would a loving, caring God want to create a world for his children where there are things that are poisonous, that can make them sick and can make them die, and can make their lives miserable? Why not create for us a Garden of Eden? If I have children and I'm God and I have all the powers in the world, seems to me that I would do a better job than this world. I would create a beautiful world for them. So I ask you to imagine it for a second. Just think for a moment. Let's think how that world would be. You know, you perfect world, no consequences to your actions. So I can sleep till 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and my business will still make millions, and I can swear at people in the street and they'll smile back at me and say what a nice person I am, and I can let my kids, you know, not have any discipline or do nothing with my kids, and they'll turn out absolutely perfect. And I can, you know, whatever I want to do, I can jump out of a plane at 20,000 feet and it won't even ruin my hairdo. You know, it's perfect world. How's that sound? Think about it for a minute. To me, that doesn't sound very interesting. That doesn't sound very exciting. Consequences are what make life meaningful. That's the bottom line. If my choosing doesn't make a difference, if it doesn't matter, I choose one way or the other, there's no consequences either way to what I choose, then my choosing becomes meaningless. And if my choosing is meaningless, then my life is meaningless. I couldn't think of much worse than a world like that. And it's not a world that I would want to live in. It's not a world that I would want to create for my kids. And I believe it's not a world that God created for his children. We want a world of consequences. Much as we don't like the consequences when they come, we know deep down that that's the world that we want. That's the world that we relish. That's a world that is engaging and meaningful for us. So I would just finish off by saying, instead of, you know, when life doesn't go the way that we're looking for it to go for ourselves, instead of blaming God for making the poison, perhaps we should be considering why we've eaten it. Wish you a Shabbat Shalom. If you're interested in finding more about Tikkun, our programs, and the ideas that we teach, please log on to our website, tikkun.co.uk.